What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day, everybody. Hopefully, everybody had a good start to their week. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. Welcome to another War Room. Um, so let me know if the audio and the visual is good. Hopefully, it is. Hopefully, it is. So we got a War Room today in the New York Giants versus the Kansas City Chiefs. I do plan on having a special guest here, my man DMW Sports. Right now, he's running a little bit behind, has some things come up. So I told him, whenever you get a chance, don't worry about it. Go ahead and join when you can join up. But until that man gets on here, guess what? We get to talk a little bit more Giants than just the New York Giants versus the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that being said, hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Let's set the mood right. Let me get the background music going. Hopefully everybody's having a good week so far. I am. I absolutely am. I might do this one today. I might do that as background music today. That seems more warlike. Again, let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if the visual is good. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick little roll call here. And I did put the link from my man DMW Sports. It is the first comment in the chat section. So, and again, hopefully he's able to join. I hope so. That way we can talk a little bit of trash and talk a little bit of strategy when it comes to these Chiefs. For the most part. Shout out to Luann in the building. She says, "Let's go Giants. This will be Giants' first win at home. I hope so." That's what the vibe feels like. Coach D said 1, so I guess you mean you number 1. What's going on, Coach? That dog friend says, okay, if this team runs on us, we are in a lot of trouble. Now, that's a fact. And the bad thing about it is, like, right now, the Chiefs can't even run the ball. Like, their leading rusher is their quarterback. I can't say too much because right now, our leading rusher is our quarterback as well. So, you know what it is. I see Luann with the Europe, Frenchie. Yo, what's going on, Frenchie? Frenchie said, yes, sir. Darnell D, what's going on? He says, we in the building early, baby. Side note, the beats are always immaculate. I appreciate that. I always let my son know, too, that you guys are actually feeling, some of the beats that he be throwing up here. So, now he appreciates that, too. Darnell says, let's get it. That's a fact. Luann says, Giants defense needs to keep Mahomes in a check. Do not let him run. They really have no offense, so Giants should win the game, no problem. Luann, you got big faith. You got super duper faith. Faith of a mustard seed, like they say. No problem at all. Woo! It's still Steve Spagnuolo. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still Andy Reid over there. It's always going to be a problem. I do like our odds, though. Shout out to my man Born for Sports in the building. Said, what up, bro? What's going on, Born for Sports? Salute to you. Hopefully you're having a good, start to your week as well. Junior Plays is in the building. My man Money Mike in the building says, time to shock the world. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The stage is set for the New York Giants, man. The stage is set. Nobody believes that the New York Giants are going to be able to beat the Chiefs. We see it already. But it's funny, too, because unlike the Chiefs, we've been in this dark hole before of 0-2. They haven't been in that 0-2 spot for a while. Let's keep them down there. Let's keep them buried. That's a fact. Let's keep them buried. My man Prophet, is it Oderlin? I think it's Oderlin. He said, Giant family, what's good? What's going on, Prophet? I'm chilling, man. I'm feeling good. I'm having a good week so far. Halfway done. Can't wait for this game. I hate that it's a Sunday night game because it takes the longest. It takes the longest, but I might take Monday off. Coach D says, sometimes simple is better. I like to show the blitz backside beat consistently and prepare for a lot of rollout screens and draws. Make the offense do what you're prepared for. Now, that's the fact. Stick to the script. But also got to be able to communicate on defense too, man. Shout out to Carl Banks, man. Carl Banks calmed me down a lot this week when he did his podcast with Bob Papa and was talking about just the defense and then I just saw a tweet from Carl Banks on Twitter, a tweet on Twitter, of course, saying that like something like expect some changes or something, like prepare for changes or something like that. So very scripted. Don't know exactly what that means. Don't believe it has anything to do with the coaches, but if it has something to do with the scheme, fantastic. If it has something to do with the alignment, maybe we see more Abdul Carter as off-ball linebacker this week. Obviously, Moore Sal's in concussion protocol. Micah McFadden's on IR. We don't know who the linebacker is going to be right now. I know we got Swayze Bozeman that we just signed to the active roster from the practice squad. He was involved in the overtime, when we were out of linebackers for the most part. We signed some linebackers to the practice squad. So they've been busy this week, man. They've been real busy this week. Giants content creators been busy this week too, man. It's a lot of people live right now, and I appreciate the love and support. Appreciate you guys for vibing with me. That's a fact. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Let the algorithm know that we in the building, and the algorithm will let other Giants fans know that we in the building as well. My man Tyrone Hall, what's going on, Tyrone? He said, this is all good. Salute to the chat. That's a fact. Salute to the chat always. Always got love for the chat. First like. Thank you, Coach D. Appreciate the love and support. Marco Mendoza says, what's up, fam? From Cali. Scat starting this week. I believe that's happening. And again, it's still running back by committee at the end of the day. And I do think that, it's situational too. But we already know, man, when it comes to Cam Scatterbull, we saw it. It's a different type of vibe. It's a different type of physicality. Now Tyrone Tracy also, has his certain skill set too. That's slightly a bit different, and also he had a big run too that got called back for a hold. So both of these guys, should have the chance to make some plays, throughout the season. But again, it's Chiefs week. Tyrone Hall says Worthy is practicing. Yeah, I saw that Worthy was practicing. I also saw something that saying that he still wasn't going to play, but I did see that there were no limitations on Xavier Worthy. Here's the thing: let them all play. Let them all play. I don't want any excuses, man. We pull this thing off. I don't want any excuses. Pat Mahomes didn't have his wide receivers. Defense was this. I'm not trying to hear that, man. I'm not trying to hear that. My man Arlon in the building says, what up? What's going on, Arlon? We just waiting for my man. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully he hit me last minute. And said, he had something happening. He said he might be a little bit late. He keep me posted. So I said, no problem, man. It is what it is. Whenever you get a chance, get a chance. Won't Stop Dream Team said, hey, Dash, what the hell are we doing? Hopefully we winning, man. Hopefully we're winning. Unless some news just broken out, I'm not hip to it. But hopefully, if you're talking about what we're doing as far as a team this week, we winning, man. That's what we doing. Luann, you got to get that up. Maybe we can get Spags back. Spags is happy over there. Spags, it's like early retirement for Spags. He ain't got to go nowhere, collect his money, coach a good, Chiefs defense. They got some players over there too, man. They got some players out over there. Secondary could be had, outside of McDuffie, but, it is what it is. Shout out to my man. Well, shout out to the crew over there. Aboriginal Sports Network says, Dash, what's good? What's going on? This probably Pat. Might be NYG22. Might be Coach Ed. Salute to y'all, man, doing big things over there. Shout out to Aboriginal Sports Network. If you are a if you are a sports fan and you are not subscribed to Aboriginal Sports Network, make sure you go ahead and do that. Now, if you're a Giants fan and you're not familiar with the name Aboriginal Sports Network, that's the Big Blue crew over there. That's Big Pat and them over there. So make sure you show your love and support if you didn't know. Prophet says changes are welcome. That's a fact. A lot of changes are welcome. Born for Sports says, I'm not happy. Bowen key cards has not been activated. This better be the week our defense looks menacing for 4 quarters. Still not over. Soft zone BS. At the end of the Dallas game, we should be 1-1. We absolutely should be 1-1. No doubt in my mind, we stole a moment from Russell Wilson. I've been mad about it all week. I just started calming down. But every time I see the clips, and I just saw the sights and sounds of the game, it just brought all that negative energy back of being upset and mad about how that game ended, because that was absolutely a moment for Russell Wilson. That could have catapulted this team moving forward. That type of victory. Looks like we're just going to have to do it again against the Chiefs. So shout out to my man TP Way in the building. Says Peach Dash in the chat. Giants salute. You already know what's good. How we doing? Meek in the building said, what up? Kyle Gluckney says, we need the Dex to lock in. He's not stopping the run how he needs to. Listen, he's still trying to get his legs under him, man. Dex is still trying to get his legs under him. Didn't really practice to a certain extent throughout the summer. They kept him limited, rehabbing that elbow. He got to get his legs under him. This might be the week. You saw him. He had an interview saying he's going to be ready this week. If Dex said he's going to be ready, why not believe him? See a lot of people showing TP some love in the chat. That's a fact. Junior Plays says they need to keep Kelsey on locks. You know how it is when it comes to tight ends with us, man. We got the hardest time covering tight ends. Like the hardest time covering tight ends. So hopefully, hopefully, you're right. Hopefully he got another drop in him. Hopefully Kelsey got another drop in him. We can get an interception off that drop. You know, he got 1 foot out the door. You see him. He getting married. Who knows? He might be starting a family. He got other things to worry about. Hopefully we can help him ease his way out the door. Maybe not even ease his way out the door. Maybe we put the foot to him and kick him out the door. Let him enjoy retirement early, maybe. Possibly. Shout out to my man Meek with the $1.99 super chat.
I need a dollar is what I need.
No comment. Just a $1.99 super chat. Hey, I appreciate the love and support. As always, it is what it is. Shout out to my man Jessa. Said, yo. Jessa, what's going on, man? What's going on? For those that don't know, again, I did have a guest, content creator for the Chiefs. Hit me up, about 10 minutes ago. Let me know that he was running a little bit late. Hopefully he's able to join. If not, we're gonna run us a little Giants vibe. It'll be a special late night Giants talk. We'll talk about the Chiefs too, and then we get up out of here. But I'm gonna hold on to see if my man can join, because I definitely got some questions for him. Because 0-2 starts for both of these teams, that's a surprise. That's absolutely a surprise, for sure. My man JSC, the Knicks fan, says, Big Dash, what up? Digging your comments, bro. Keep it up. Let's go, G. Man, I appreciate the love and support, man. Again, make sure you hit that like button. Let the algorithm know we in the building. 64 strong. We chilling tonight. We having fun. My man Byron says, Harlem in the building, as always. Byron, gotta let everybody know you from Harlem. Harlem in the building. Nah, shout out to Harlem for real. Cardona says, Flat had grew. Listen, man. I saw the podium. I saw the presser. They asked Brian Dable about Flott. They asked him about Banks and what's going on with that. They're going to continue to do the rotation. Listen, at the end of the day, for me, Flott has won that job. Now, understand you might want to try to protect the feelings of Tay Banks. Maybe not. Maybe you just like the rotation. But for me, Flott earned that spot to be the sole CB2 until proven otherwise. And other than that, you're just playing around when it comes to that. Who's making the most plays right now? Flott. Hands down, Flott is making the most plays right now. It is what it is. It is what it is. Coach D says Dex is getting double teamed a lot. Dex always getting double teamed. What I don't like is this, and I found out, and I wish I had those stats in front of me right now. They had a breakdown of Dex's alignment this year versus, previous years, especially at nose tackle. He's playing less than 50% nose tackle. They got him lined up at the 3 technique. They got him lined up, at the 4-eye. They got him lined up head-on-head with the tackle. Less than 50% of his snaps are actual 0 tech, 1 tech over the center. We can't be doing that. Who are we fooling here? That's what I don't like about this whole Shane Bowen thing, man. Why mess with Dex? I understand you're trying to get Abdul Carter looks, especially blitzing the A-gap, but why mess with Dex? And also, don't you think it would help if Dex was still there? That way, Abdul Carter can pick whatever gap he wanted to blitz. It's an A-gap, most likely strong side. But doesn't it make sense to, imagine the center guard combination if he got Dex right in front of him and also peeking over Dex's shoulder is Abdul Carter. Pause. You know what I mean? I think that's even better than the center just looking up and seeing Abdul Carter ready to hit him with the Iverson crossover, right? Right. Luann says, my worry is that Mahomes is going to have the refs helping him like they always do. It is what it is. Hopefully we get the breaks this week. I don't want to see the flags no more, though. If we can keep it a clean game, fantastic. Both sides, fantastic. But we already know what it is when it comes to the Chiefs. Somebody said that you think the script will allow the Kansas City Chiefs to start the season 0-3. I said, I don't care about the script. I don't care about the script. I need this win. I need this W in MetLife. For real. SDBK, what's going on? He says 3-sack week for Carter, shine in prime time. Just watch. Now, that's what it is, man. He's been, like Carter's just been getting there or just not been getting there. We seen it last week. Tibbs got that sack. Carter was right there. cleanup duty right there. And you know they shared the sack in the first game, Pauls. Yeah. That game, the game is coming for Carter, man. That breakout game is on the way. I would love for it to be primetime Sunday night. Just think about the New York Giants in the last couple primetime showings, right? Not the best. Not the best. This is the perfect time to put everybody on notice. Man, when you look at the Chiefs, there's something wrong there, man. I was hoping my man would join so I can ask him the questions of what he thinks is wrong, because he's a film guy. DMW Sports is a film guy. He does breakdowns. He's an analyst and all that stuff, too. I was going to try to get into the nooks and crannies of what the possible issue could be for the Chiefs. But something ain't quite right. That's all I know. From the outside looking in, something just ain't quite right. Shout out to my man NYG Man VA1 with the $10 super chat. He says, Dash, I'm not ever going to act like I know what it is or know what it's like to run an NFL team. But why are you holding on to Hyatt if you aren't going to use them? They're bringing up Cambry. Makes no sense. I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't get a chance to talk about that. And for the people out here, you guys already know, man, how I feel about Jalen Hyatt. But I share the same sentiment, right? For me, right? After seeing what was happening last week, the way they were pushing the ball downfield, you telling me you can't get Hyatt on the field when you're pushing the ball downfield like that? Then when you ever going to get a chance to get him on the field? And with that being said, unfortunately, I'm starting to think about it. Like, if you're not going to use them, why waste them? If you can get a 6 or a 7 for him, maybe I'm pretty sure somebody will give you at least a 7 for him. That would be a steal for somebody, that a 7th round pick for Hyatt, and he probably goes somewhere else and does fine, because that's the track record right now for the New York Giants. People leave here and all of a sudden they get better. they leave here and get better. Let's see where I was at. Hold on. Shout out to my man Derek Malfoy. Says 0-3 season over. Coach is gone. Question mark. Mathematically, no. But again, last week's loss, despite being a loss, gave us some life, if that makes any sense at all. How we perform against the Chiefs depends on whether or not the fans are going to check out. Mathematically, no, it's not over. But as far as the fan base goes, we might be done. Coach is gone. That won't be any. I don't see any significant coach changes. Actually, I'm lying. As far as the head coach goes, I don't see Brian Dable getting fired before the season ends or anything like that. If this defense continues not to be able to, close out games, maybe you see a change at DC. But we're gonna let this thing happen, man. We're gonna see this thing through, right? Solitary Camp, what's going on? Solitary Camp. He says offenses was the problem first game, defense was a problem. Offense was a problem first game. Defense was a problem last game. Now what? Special teams. Special teams is actually pretty good in the second game. I'm mad that opening kick return got called back, but he punted the ball pretty well. They covered the kicks pretty well. Special teams was pretty good, man. Here's my thing. Instead of thinking that way, right? First week, offense let us down. Second week, defense let us down. How about the third week be in a game that both sides of the ball get it right? How about that? I like that a lot better. This would be, like everybody keeps saying, this might be the get right game for the Chiefs. Now, how about it be the get right game for the New York Giants? Complimentary football, offense playing well, defense playing well, Giants scoring points, Giants stopping the Chiefs, walking out with a victory. How about that? I'm cool with that part of it. Shout out to my man Xavier Anderson. Said, what up, Dash? I was pissed after the game, but this might be the game that helps us turn the corner. I agree. Side note, my son had 4 touchdowns, 210 yards last Friday. That's what's up. Nah, and you said he was a sophomore, right? Sophomore, junior? I think you said he was a sophomore. 4 touchdowns, 210 yards? Shout out to your son for that, man. Actually, let me see if I can change this. I had the shared screen, for my guests. Hopefully, like I said, when they show up, if they show up, it is what it is. It is what it is. We out here vibing anyway. Jay Hernandez, shout out to you with the $19.99 super chat, $20 super chat. He said, what up, Big Dash? He said we got to get the run game going and control the clock every hit like that. Nah, that's a fact. We saw it a little bit last week. Like the offensive line was good in pass protection. Running game was better than it was the first week. Still not where it needs to be. But at the end of the day, we saw, Tyrone Tracy attack the outside. Run got called back, but that was about a good 25 yards. And then, of course, the big play by Scatterboo that was almost a touchdown, up the middle. So, we're making strides, man. The offensive line is making strides. A better showing. Marcus Bowe, looking good. Funny thing is, when it comes to Marcus Bowe, we got to have this conversation about Andrew Thomas now. All of a sudden, Andrew Thomas looks like he's ready to go. And that's funny to me. Shout out to everybody that knows where I'm going right now. That young kid, Marcus Bowe, came out there, had himself a good day at left tackle. All of a sudden, Andrew Thomas is like, wait a minute. My foot feels better. My foot feels good. I might be ready to go. It's funny how things work out like that, man. You let me know. Is it a coincidence that Andrew Thomas all of a sudden might be ready to go on Sunday? Is it a coincidence, or did Marcus Bowe having himself a great debut for a rookie have something to do with that as well? You guys let me know. Is it 100 G says this year's script got the G-men winning. Amen to that. Luann says if we win, I truly believe Giants can run off a few games in a row. We got the Chiefs, we got the Chargers back to back. If we can get out of these next 2 weeks 2-2, you're absolutely right. Leo Lucas says I thought the defense looked good for a half. Yeah, they did look good. Listen, it's kind of like the same thing happened where they were able to hold them. They didn't play a bad first half at all. And actually in the third quarter they played pretty well too. It was that fourth quarter that did it, man. And who was it? It was Javon Holland who had the interview today saying, guys were tired, man. He flat out said, he said, man, we were tired. And he said, when you're tired, kind of cut corners a little bit. He said, but when you're tired, you got to stick to your assignments when you're tired, At the end of the day, listen, I understand you're tired, but adrenaline, that in that moment, we need you. That's the time where we need you to dig deep and step up for sure. Not saying that they can't, just saying that, what happened. Whether it was communication, whether it was the scheme. Again, shout out to Carl Banks saying that even though he wouldn't have called that play, if that was the play call, he needs better communication between the linebackers and the safeties, especially covering that tight end up the seam. I understand. Jay Hernandez says, who else is going to the game Sunday? Are you going, Jay, you going to all the games, huh? Nah, that should be a good game, man. Obviously, I said, if we start the season off 2-0, I'm trying to go to that game, even though the prices, I don't know what the price is now. Price of tickets might have came down, 2-0-2 teams. Nah, I'm joking. It's still the Chiefs and the Giants at the end of the day. It's still only week 3. I know them tickets are still crazy. People getting slapped on the head with them ticket prices, for sure. Man, Cardona, what's going on, Cardona? He said, I think Carter needs to play inside with Bobby. I don't trust any of these backups to fill in for McFadden. Even Musa was suspect. What's your thoughts on that? I agree with you 100%, Cardona. There's no reason why you should be looking anywhere else other than Abdul Carter to play next to Bobby Okereke. Why? Because he did it before. Now, I understand. You didn't draft Abdul Carter to be an off-ball linebacker. But have you seen the way that Tibbs is playing? Have you seen the way that Burns is playing? I don't want to move any one of those guys. Now, you still got the rotation where Carter can get in on the edge. But why not? Why not put Abdul Carter as an off-ball linebacker? At least for the game. We need that speed, especially at the second level. I mean, respectfully, and Carl Banks said it himself, Bobby O is getting cooked in pass coverage right now. We can use a guy like Abdul Carter as an off-ball linebacker. Make him a specialist. But you know what's crazy? It's almost it's almost like Shane Bowen is fighting against destiny. Like Micah McFadden goes, well, here's the deal, right? You draft Abdul Carter, everybody tells you about his history playing off-ball linebacker. He can be both, right? And then what happens week 1? Micah McFadden goes down. a chance to put Abdul Carter at off-ball linebacker. But no. After the loss, she said, Shane Bowen got at the podium, told us, yeah, I know Abdul Carter can play off-ball linebacker, but we're going to have Muasau filling mainly, for McFadden. Here we go, week 2. What happened to Muasau? Concussion protocol, out. I don't know, man, but I remember the color purple. There's a point in the color purple where they say God is trying to tell you something. You lost McFadden, you lost Muasau, and you're still not trying to do what's obvious. Put Abdul Carter at off-ball linebacker. Just do it. Somebody is trying to tell you something, Shane Bowen. And guess what happens when you put him at off-ball linebacker? You can put Dex right back to the nose tackle primarily where he thrives. Sometimes people don't listen to the voices, though, man. God is trying to tell you something, Shane Bowen. My man Ant 10 says it's over for Hyatt Dash. Listen, it might be. Listen, I'm not mad, man. I was mad when I thought there were plays needed. I was mad when I thought that he could help stretch the field. Now we're seeing the field get stretched without him. I can't listen. It is what it is. I'm not going to keep forcing the issue. I'm not going to. If we're being successful as an offense, and we are, and it's those 3 guys doing it, I'm not mad at that. My whole thing was when we weren't able to push the ball downfield, he was a guy that was known, that had that skill set to stretch the field. Now that we got Wandell going deep, pause, Slayton, Neighbors, moon balls galore, I'm cool. I'm cool on Hyatt, man. I hope he gets the opportunity. I hope he gets some targets because I do think that he can thrive in that type of offense. But if he can't get on the field, he can't get on the field. It is what it is. I got to retire the hats, man. Luann says Jets need wide receivers. Possibly. If the price is right, go ahead, throw me that 6. Throw me that 6 for Hyatt. Jets. We can talk. My man 100G says, I doubt we lose this week. Nah, we ain't losing, man. Ant says, do not believe Hyatt can't play. I don't believe that he can't play either. I'm just saying he's not getting opportunities, and they're not worrying about it. And if this offense, if Russell Wilson wants to throw up 450 yards and Hyatt ain't got nothing to do with it, how can I be mad at that? I can't. Shout out to my man Rick Torch in the building. He says we ride and dash New York Giant busters. No. New York Giant, you busters. Listen, it is what it is. I got this light shining in my face right now, trying to make the quality of the video a little bit better. I'm over here suffering in silence. Born for Sports says Wandell was very impressive getting downfield. Hopefully he's unlocked, and this won't be an aberration. No, I don't think so, man. We're not in the desert. This is not fake. We saw what we saw, and we saw it constantly. It wasn't like he got open downfield once. No. Guys were open downfield multiple times. Not an aberration. Not at all. Born for Sports also says if we put both sides of the ball together, we can win. We can win by 17 Sunday. Listen, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. If that's it, that's it. Shout out to my man Mav Prick. Chiefs going 0-3. Prick, huh? Nah, shout out to you. Nah, that's the vibes, man. That's the vibes that I'm having, man. I definitely want to put the Chiefs in that scenario. I want to be 1-2 because who knows what's going to happen with the rest of the division. At the end of the day, we all might be tied at the end of the week, possibly, except for the Eagles, though. Except for the Eagles. It is what it is, though. Shout out to the Big Moo in the building. Says, hey guys, hey Big Dad, what's going on, Big Moo? I appreciate you hanging out with me. I know there's who was it? I think there's a couple people went live already, man. I don't know if Bad Dog went live today. It might have been yesterday. But shout out to all the Giants content creators that are in the building right now and also out there on YouTube, man. Always showing love, always showing support to the people in this community. That's what it is. That's how we build up this culture the right way, for sure. No hating at all. Yeah, he is a sophomore. I remember the height and weight. I just listen, man. 4 touchdowns. You said 210 yards. Keep going, young fella. If you're listening, keep doing your thing, young fella. I might be talking about you in a few years. Who knows? Shout out to him, though. Shout out to your son. Coach D says Dex a penetrate type 2 gap defensive tackle. He needs a man gap plugger on the other side of him in an odd man front and a point attack, and a point of attack middle linebacker versus hovering behind him that can fill the gap on either side of Dex. Now, listen, man, now I'm not going to say that Dex can't play all across the defensive line because he's that good, but there's definitely strengths. There's definitely strengths. Head up against the center at the nose, zero technique, two technique, all that. As long as he's between the center and the guard, that's why I want Dexter Lawrence. That's why I like to see him lined up. And as far as the other side of him, you're absolutely right. We're still looking for that prototype. We're still looking for that Leonard Williams type that we have not found yet. We thought Darius Alexander might be that guy. Doesn't seem like it yet, but I was happy that he finally made his way onto the field last week and contributed a bit for us. But Elijah Garcia is looking pretty good too as a UDFA. Not as a UDFA, but as a practice squad player that was called up. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Elijah Garcia. Big sack that he had, in overtime last week as well. Born for Sports says, Tyrone, man, we need to complete a game from this team. Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. All right, let me see where we at. The Big Moose says, AT says, I'm ready to play. Get a little push from the up-and-coming rookie. Now, that's a fact. I'm not the only one that's seeing that. You guys see that. All of a sudden, Andrew Thomas is like, hey, wait a minute. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I think I'm ready to go. My foot felt good this morning. Monday morning came. You know what? He got out of bed. His foot felt really good. He stretched and said, yeah, you know what? I think the Chiefs is a good game to come back. SDBK says, Thomas about to lose his job. Nah, that's funny. Nah, listen, it's not happening. He's making way too much money. What's going to happen is Thomas comes back and hopefully they make a slight change, slight adjustment where they kick Illuminor inside and put Marcus Bowe at right tackle. That's what I would like to see, but we'll see what happens. Greg Van Roten not having the strongest showing. Obviously, older man, 36 years old, 37 years old, something like that, right? But I would like to see that slight change. I would hate for Marcus Bowe to go completely back to the bench, but that's something that could absolutely happen. It just depends on what Dable wants, what Carmen Bracillo was thinking. But for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm kicking Illuminor inside and putting Bowe at right tackle. No way you can't waste that man on the bench. And also, when you kick Illuminor inside at guard and you let him know that might be the future for him at guard, that price tag comes down a little bit because tackles make more than guards. And he's going to be a free agent this year. If he likes the Giants so much, maybe he wants to stick around and play guard. Maybe he sees the future as Marcus Bowe at tackle. And also, he knows that if Andrew Thomas goes down again, Marcus Bowe is most likely going to be the left tackle, and he can get kicked right back to right tackle. So the Giants got some options, man. I haven't felt this good about the offensive line in a while. And all it took was one game and a rookie to play well for me to feel this way, because prior to that, we like, man, you know what? Andrew Thomas ain't playing. It's over. The Titanic is sunk. Nah, not anymore. Not after Russ put up what he put up. And the rookie's grade was fantastic. I forgot how high his grade was on the PFF. Somebody look that up and let me know in the comment section. But Marcus Bowe was ranked pretty high this week, and I'm loving it. 100G says 2-2, bro. Now, that's a fact. 2-2 after 4. I'm with it. I watched the Chiefs play, that opener against the Chargers. Okay. I watched them play against the Eagles. Listen, and this is moving way ahead. I'm watching that Eagles game versus the Chiefs, and both of those guys look beatable. Both of those teams look like lunch. Barbecue chicken. I know I'm getting ahead of myself because we don't got the Eagles to week 6, but I'm just saying, you guys, if you watch that game, I'm not scared of either one of those guys, man. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of either one of those teams. I'm with it. I'm absolutely with it. Tyrone says the entire MetLife crowd and us need the same thing. That's a fact. Big Moo, I'm glad you brought this up. He said, I wasn't that impressed with Adobo. Good Lord. You guys see where my head is. Dinner time. Impressed with Adebo and Holland. That was something else that Carl Banks had talked about. And again, Carl Banks did a fantastic job of calming me down. If you have not seen that pod with Bob Pop, I think it came out 2 days ago on Monday. make sure you guys go check that out. Just wait after this video, then you can go ahead and check that out. But I'm glad you brought that up. Obviously, these guys are high ticket players. We're paying them a lot of money to come in here and be dominant, be the players that we want them to be. Now, both of these guys are both coming off of down years. They still got to get back to where they were before. I thought Adebo had some good plays. He did have a breakup in the end zone, almost intercepted by Tyler Nubin. If he didn't hit it twice, Tyler Nubin probably gets that interception, saves us some points. But no, we'll slowly see it. And he's coming up pretty well in run defense as well. He's out there making tackles. The secondary this year, Marquand Manuel the secondary is tackling a lot better. Well, at least the cornerbacks, I should say, are tackling a lot better. Now, as far as Javon Holland goes, man, him and Cordell Flott almost had a chance at an interception on the same play in the end zone as well. I believe they were trying to get to CeeDee Lamb that play, and both of those guys, I think, got a hand on it, man. If Holland might have got a hand on it and deflected it, and Flott just missed it. Pump the brakes, Big Moo. They getting there. You can see it. The communication's getting better. I mean, if you watch the team real time, you see the communication between the secondary and the linebackers is constant. It's coming along. It's coming along. Just remember, a lot of these high expectations came for what we saw on paper. Now we're seeing these guys on the field. At the end of the day, they still got to gel on the field. They still got to get to that next level, and I think it's coming soon. Hopefully, it's against the Chiefs. Luann said, "Hi, should get in this game." I think so, man. Get a man some targets. You know what's crazy? I saw the sights and sounds. He looks pitiful on the sideline. He had a baseball cap on. You know, I'll say this though. Good for him to be involved with the team. He wasn't just sitting on to the side, you know, standing by himself. He was active with the wide receivers. He was active, you know, with the quarterbacks. He was cheering the team on. So he's a good teammate for sure. He has to be frustrated inside, though. Internally, it got to be killing him inside that he's not out there contributing on the field. I know it got to suck, man. Especially coming, you're the Biletnikoff winner, a former Biletnikoff winner, and you can't even get a snap. Just think about how he got to feel, man. And that's the part that makes me feel bad for him. But again, he's approaching it with the right attitude. So I appreciate that from High. It shows a lot of maturity. But I'm telling you right now, the first time that kid get on the field and you target him, something big might happen. Pause. Herbalist, what's going on? Herbalist says, Big Dash, we will shock the world and compete. We're going to do more than compete, Herbalist. We winning Sunday. Let me check my messages real quick to see if I got an update on the guest possibly. Nah, nothing yet. So right now I'm gonna treat it like he's not gonna show up. But it is what it is. We still vibing out. Leah Lucas says, I would love to go to the game, but no money, and I live in Florida. I will say MetLife Stadium looks beautiful on TV. Listen. Don't worry about that, bro. Don't worry. Listen, at some point in time, you're gonna be able to get to these games. Don't worry about that now. Look at me. I'm not going to the game either. I'm probably saving a lot of money not going to the game either, but it is what it is. But don't worry about that. Show your support, man. You supporting out here on social media. You showing love and support to the Giants content creators. Do the same thing, man. When you're cheering at the top of your lungs, watching them on TV, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for you. Don't worry yourself about that, man. You'll be all right. Notorious HAN says, hard to be impressed with anyone on defense when the DC doesn't know how to use their strengths. That is the fight, the endless fight for New York Giants fans, especially when it comes to this defense. We don't believe that Shane Bowen has a clue what to do. And that's crazy, too, because, again, we saw the first three quarters, defense played pretty well. Defense got the ball back to the offense. They played pretty well. I don't trust this man in crunch time. You know what? I don't trust this man when it comes to adjustments. Actually, Notorious, you're absolutely right. I'm sitting here trying to sugarcoat things. I don't trust him. What's the game plan this week? How are you going to play Patrick Mahomes? Here's one thing I'll say about it, man. So, you know what? I'll start talking about the game because that's what everybody is here for. It's the war room, right? Giants versus Chiefs. The Chiefs have shown so far this season that they struggle trying to run the ball. Like who? Like us, right? They really have troubles running the ball. Again, Patrick Mahomes is their leading rusher. And then also Patrick Mahomes does not look the same in the passing game. There's serious issues happening with that offense. Now you can say that he's missing Rashee Rice, he's missing Xavier Worthy. Those are targets. Those are weapons. He's absolutely missing them. And who knows, if they come back, it probably looks a lot better. But right now he ain't got those guys, and I think they look real beatable. Now, never underestimate Andy Reid. Definitely never underestimate Steve Spagnuolo. One thing Steve Spagnuolo can do is here we go. A man is joining. So all right, we're gonna table this, and my man D-Mac is in the building. So hold on just a moment. So listen, the New York Giants versus the Kansas City Chiefs, Sunday Night Football. It should be a show. Both teams 0-2. And we got some things to talk about. I'm going to bring my man D-Mac on right now. Let me go ahead and get that. What's going on, D-Mac? How we doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. I apologize for being late. Thank you so much for being understanding, man.
No, that's fine. Hey, it's life. Things happen. It's life. Things happen. So,
how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I appreciate you with the quick answer too, man. I reached out to you. Turnaround time was super quick. Shout out to my man Yuji. Yuji was the one that let me know about you on Twitter. He said I was reaching out to Yuji because I know he's a Chiefs fan. I said, who you got for me, man? You were one of the first names that he put out there, and I checked you out. I like the stuff that you put out, your content. I said, yeah, that's who I'm gonna reach out to. So I appreciate you for joining, man, for sure.
I like the work. I appreciate the invite. Definitely Yuji's good people, and I definitely appreciate the compliment as far as that is concerned. Appreciate it, man. Happy to be on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So listen, we've been going already. The chat is live already. Giants fans are live already. Mm-hmm. First question, man. And again, so for the chat and for the people watching, we're going to rewind things back. I talked about a lot of topics. I got the man in the building right now that can answer some of these questions. The Chiefs are 0-2. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? Now, listen, I got a question for you. Because, again, you do the analysis and stuff like that. Have you pinpointed the reason why the Chiefs are 0-2 right now?
Yeah, I think it's different. Each game is kind of a tale in and of itself. The first game, the Chiefs defense came out with an awful effort, like they didn't even want to be there, in my personal opinion. And then you combine that with losing Xavier Worthy, who the entire game plan was kind of built around, 3 snaps into the game. So both of those things combined, I think, were major reasons. And then just couldn't, climb your way back into it. Kind of the offense stalled out through the first half, and the defense was, obviously had its issues really throughout the entirety of the game, outside of a few drives to start out the second half. So that Chargers game just was too far for us to make up that deficit. And then this game, specifically the Eagles, I'd say the defense brought a much better effort. The offense was obviously lacking me due to its wide receivers. The reality situation is I'd love to put it on somebody else, but I think Travis Kelce dropping that ball was the biggest changing point in that team. That was the thing. We were driving there to take the lead. He catches that ball. That's a touchdown for us to take the lead. Ultimately, that turns into the interception that they take back and gives them the 10-point lead, in which they scored the touchdown. And they hadn't scored a long drive the entirety of the game, so that short field helped them again. So, that Harrison Butker missing the field goal. So, even though it was a better effort in week 2, I mean, you could pinpoint a few different issues that we have on the team right now. And like you said, man, staring down this 0-2 hole, trying to climb out of it.
So more execution. You wouldn't blame everything on personnel, obviously, but you're missing Rashee Rice till what, week 8, most likely, right? Week 8, I think it's week 8.
Week 6. Obviously, he'll be back in week 7. Suspended for the first 6 weeks. Yep.
And to your point, Xavier Worthy goes out 3 plays in, and it's funny too because I had him on my parlay. I should have did the first quarter injury clause.
Exactly.
And I didn't. And I did see that. I think I read that he practiced today. No limitations. Is that correct?
That is correct. So he was limited. He was limited. Andy Reid said there was no limitation. So if you'd miss one rep or whatever. So we'll see how it progresses. But I would say, based on everything we've heard, he does look like he's going to be on track to play though.
Okay. Gut feeling says he plays. Gut feeling.
Yeah, gut feeling. I'd say, yeah.
Gut feeling says he plays. Okay. So now I said we got an 0-2 Giants versus an 0-2 Chiefs. The last time we played you guys, we actually played you guys pretty tough too. I remember that.
Yeah, very tough.
Yeah, and it came down to one of them last plays. I think Daniel Jones messed it up. And speaking of Daniel Jones is looking pretty good in Indiana right now, but we're not going to talk about that. But I do have some questions because you guys, as far as the defense goes, Chris Jones, solid. It seems to me like they're playing him a little bit different. Chris Jones, as far as the defensive alignment, is that something that I'm wishing, or is that something that you guys have noticed with Chris?
Yeah, I mean, they've been moving him up and down the line, which is
Yeah.
not out of the ordinary. He sometimes picks and chooses like the tackle, where he's at there. And then he's mostly inside. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. The problem really has been the fact that we haven't been able to generate a secondary pass rush outside of him the entirety of the season to start out. And that's even including better defensive effort than we had last week, specifically versus the Eagles. That's because we blitzed a lot, and Spags is going to continue to send blitz because it's really the only way that we can get after the quarterback. Now, of course, talking about Russ, that is an area in which he does have some issues
Yes.
as far as that is concerned, of course. So it's going to be fascinating to see, to say the least, of course. But yeah, and secondary pass rush has been an issue. Where Chris Jones aligns, he's generally going to be inside. As far as early downs, he's been good against the run. Late downs, if he feels like there's a tackle mismatch, that's when he'll go outside.
Okay. And it's funny too because the Giants kind of tricked me last week because I thought they were going to go more to the quick game last week, and then they ended up just pushing the ball downfield against Spagnuolo. And again, we're familiar with Spagnuolo. We know he can get the pressure. We know he can do it a couple different ways. I do think the Giants go to the quick game. I hope they use the tight ends more. But I look at your second level. You got Bolton. What's the other guy's name? You got Bolton, Chanel, who I was high on, but it's the other guy,
Drew
Tranquil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you guys are solid. How those guys been doing, man? The linebackers, because I know for Nick Bolton, I think who was it? No, it's Tranquil that got into like a little argument on the side with Chris Jones. Yeah. So what's going on? Is it just in the game frustrations, or is there a chink in the armor a little bit?
Yeah, I mean the thing about that specifically, Chris Jones was rushing from the outside on that particular play, and ultimately lost contain on Justin Herbert, who ended up escaping outside to be able to scramble for that end of the game kind of game sealing, to put it that way, scramble. So that ended up being a back and forth there. As far as the linebacking crew, I think we have one of the better linebacking trios in the National Football League. Nick Bolton has limitations in coverage, but he is really good against the run, and that helps us get to later downs as well. And then, Leo Chanel is excellent versus the run and also can rush off the edge and be a blitzing guy and spy quarterbacks as well, which we used a little bit against Jalen Hurts too. So it's a versatile group. Drew Tranquil is kind of the X factor. If he's playing well against the coverage aspect of it, then our second level really can gel together. If he's not, then it's a little bit of an issue too. So we're going to have to see.
Okay. And then your whole offensive line is healthy, right?
Yeah. Fortunately, everybody is healthy to this point in the season. Guys are playing relatively well. Obviously, Josh Simmons has come in as a rookie left tackle, played at a high level so far. Creed and Trey have been their normal selves as well. Juwan Taylor had penalty issues in week 1, did not have them in week 2. So he had a good game from that perspective. And then Kingsley's been more so serviceable at the left guard position than great or anything like that.
Yeah, I like Simmons too, coming out of college too. That was a good get for you guys. So my question is this though: why is Patrick Mahomes the leading rusher for the Kansas City Chiefs? Now, like I said, I saw again. I'm a fan of Isaiah Pacheco. Went to Rutgers. Shout out to Jersey. That's where I'm from. And shout out to my man Coach Ed, who put me on Isaiah Pacheco before he even got to the league. I saw a little bit of struggle there. Kareem Hunt, a little bit of struggle there as well. Is it the scheme? Is it are they not finding the holes? Is it the vision of the running back? What's going on with that? Or is it just you played some stout defenses too?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, absolutely, got to give credit to the defenses because, and obviously the Eagles being your division, and they had some guys move on as far as Mel Williams, guys like that, Josh Sweat obviously off the edge, but the way Nolan Smith plays above his weight at the edge position and still defend the run is spectacular. Mora Jomo, I think, is really good. Jordan Davis, you know how big and athletic that kid is, and that's even before you get to the all-pro caliber player that Jalen Carter is. So that's a piece of it. The Chargers have a very good defense too. But the reality situation is our running backs just have bad vision and a little bit lack of burst. Kareem Hunt is the guy that unfortunately lacks the burst at this point. He's fine to get some short yardage things, 1 to 4 yards, but he's not going to get you much more other than that. And Isaiah Pacheco just struggles too much with his vision, which is why he's the 7th rounder coming out of Rutgers. But ultimately, it hasn't, improved, obviously, to this point. So it's a tough sledding thing. I'd like to see a little bit more Brashard Smith try and give him a spark, because there's times in which this offensive line is creating those holes for them to run through. It's just they're not taking advantage of it, either due to the lack of talent or the lack of vision, depending on which back is back there. So yeah, I mean, and Patrick Mahomes has had to put it on his shoulders. That usually we talk about Patrick Mahomes and him using his scrambling. He sprinkles it in throughout the regular season, but also specifically the quarterback run game. Normally that's saved until the playoffs when we really want to take it up another notch. But he realizes how bad our situational offense has really been in from a weapons perspective, and he's tried to put it on his back these first 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, because again, it's been surprising to me to see, and I think you guys had a slow start for the Chiefs, for Chief standards, I would say. Slow start for Chief standards. I can't quite remember exactly how you guys started last year. I want to say you started off a little bit slow last year, but you ended up still getting the W's, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it was tough sledding, and it was ugly at different times throughout last year, of course, because we had guys in our lineup. Patrick Mahomes actually played at a much worse level to start out last year than he did this year, to be honest with you. But yeah, Rasheed got hurt. Worthy was a rookie trying to come in. So it was an up and down thing, and Hollywood Brown got hurt in preseason. So we were just down wide receivers again, which we kind of are now. But yeah, and this is the first time we've been 0-2 in the Patrick Mahomes era. Now, we did in 2021, funny enough, when we played you guys last. We did end up starting 3-4 that season and still were able to get to the AFC Championship game. So it's not a point at which I'm pushing the panic button, but it is something that obviously is uncharted territory for this team in the start.
Yeah, so I'm going to switch things up a little bit, because the Giants and the Chiefs have been able to make deals in the past. Yeah. And we seem to have a wide receiver that we can't get on the field to save his life, Jalen Hyatt.
Mm-hmm.
What you got for me, man? You got anything you willing to trade anything for Jalen Hyatt, man? You guys, you might need another speedster just to get you over the hump until Rashee Rice comes back. Do you have anything, or is there any interest possibly?
I hate to say it, unfortunately. This is one of those things where I understand it. This was somebody that had been bantied about a little bit because he wasn't really on the field for you guys through the early tenure here. But I would say that Tyquan Thornton has actually played very well for us in the deep threat role. So at this point, it's kind of no. And from a practice perspective, like I talked about, we expect Xavier Worthy to be back, and then Jalen Royals, who was our 4th round pick, also practiced in full for the first time throughout this season. So as well. So we expect our wide receiver core is moving on the men. So I can't tell you that I think that we're going to be interested in Jalen Hyatt. Honestly, we have too many other issues to possibly be interested in another wide receiver right now.
You hear that, Giants fans? We can't even push Jalen Hyatt to the Chiefs right now, and they got half of their wide receiver crew on IR missing games. That's crazy though. Now, switching up again. So obviously with the 0-2 start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, you guys can turn it around on the drop of a dime and then run off some wins. And some people say, for the New York Giants, last week was a must-win for the New York Giants. That's how we felt. Ended up getting a good performance from Russell Wilson. We calmed down a little bit. If the offense can look like that, maybe we got a chance, right? Is this a similar situation for the Chiefs as far as how the fan base feels? Is this a must-win situation? Is this a quote-unquote get-right game? Because the Giants have been a get-right game for a lot of people. So I'm curious to think, do you see this as a get-right game? And listen, you can speak freely. Do you feel like it's a get-right game? Do you feel like the pressure is on you guys to win this game?
So I will say this. I think it is 100% must win, and I think that other people in my fan base would say as well. As far as the get-right game, I don't think that this team has the luxury of a get-right game. This is about, are you staying afloat until you can get these guys back, in my personal opinion. And nobody on this team should be taking any team lightly based on the fact that they haven't gotten a win yet to start the season through 2 weeks. So get right game, no, but absolutely must win, because this is a team that still has designs on obviously winning the division, going deep into the playoffs, and being in the Super Bowl once again. And so to do so, 0-3 puts you in a significant hole that I think makes it very difficult to dig out of. I said, when Rashee Rice got suspended, 3-3 is a kind of a realistic mark to be able to make it through based on how tough our early schedule is. But the fact that Xavier Worthy gets hurt in those first 2 games then makes that even more difficult. So it's like, all right, well, can you get to 2-4 and get Rashee Rice back ultimately? Because I will say we do have you guys and we have the Jaguars on the schedule, but we also got the Ravens. Yeah, we got the Ravens and Lions on the schedule too, so it's not going to be easy to say the least.
Wait, hold on. So after us, is that the order that we have after? Like,
yeah, so we're Giants, Ravens, Jaguars, Lions is our next 4. Yeah. So it's not easy to say the least. And that's why I say you can't take any of these guys seriously. You guys present challenges that we have to be ready and to step up to. So this team has to get a win. I definitely think it is a must win.
Okay. All right. No, yeah. No, I was complaining about our schedule. About how tough our schedule. That's that. Especially when it comes to like the deep. Like right now, yeah, the Giants had one game where the defense showed up, offense didn't, and then the offense showed up, defense let us down. In the later half of the game. I'm thinking about the Chiefs now. We've always had issues covering the tight end. I was just talking trash about Travis Kelce too before you jumped on. I'm like, got proposal. Already was talking about retirement two years ago. Is he 1 foot in, 1 foot out? What's his vibe? But at the end of the day, we still got the hardest time trying to defend tight ends. It's like kryptonite for the New York Giants. But I will say this. With all this being said, right, I still like the chances for the Giants at the end of the day. I think if we can get the pass rush going ultimately and get home and with the pressure and stuff like that, I think that can happen. But I'm more worried about it. And shout out to my man in the beginning of the chat said, if the Chiefs can get this running game going, it's going to be a long day. And I absolutely do believe that. And the Giants have been struggling, been one of the worst teams defending the run. And even with some of the acquisitions that we had this year, Darius Alexander, bringing in Roy Robertson-Harris, who's been a pleasure. I didn't expect to get that kind of play from him, but he's playing pretty well. But Dexter Lawrence has not quite been the Dexter Lawrence that we need him to be yet, dealing with the elbow injury, rehabbing all summer, not really practicing to the full extent. Dexter Lawrence said today that he's going to be ready for these Chiefs. And you know what? I believe Dexter Lawrence when he says he's going to be ready. Is there anything about this defensive front or this defense at all that gives you some pause or worry? Again, we're talking about the Chiefs here now. You got the force multiplier with Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about this Giants defense, what do you think about? I'm not going to say what you worry about. What do you think about when it comes to this Giants defense?
Well, look, here's the thing. I will say this, and I'll start with the guy that you obviously mentioned there, Dexter Lawrence. I consider him to be the most unique defensive player in the National Football League. And I say that because of how incredible he has as a nose tackle, obviously, in years past. And maybe a slow start to start out, obviously, due to the injury. But his ability to still be that nose tackle that can stop the run as far as the middle of the defense is concerned, and then be able to create pressure from that nose tackle position at an astronomical weight, kind of compared to his peers at the nose tackle specifically. And so that is an issue. And then you're talking about what you guys can present outside of that when you talk about Kayvon Thibodeau, obviously Brian Burns, and then Abdul Carter, who I thought was, maybe pound for pound, just the best talent as far as the National Football League draft this past season was concerned. So that's a front that can present any offensive line issues if they're not on their P's and Q's. And certainly we have a young left side of the offensive line that's still trying to get things together. That could be an issue if Dexter Lawrence is continuing to plug things up the middle. And, those pass rushers start to heat up throughout the course of a game as well. And then I will say I really do like your safety duo, like Tyler Newman, Javon Holland. I think highly of Javon Holland specifically, and I thought highly of him coming from Miami. And then I like Newman a lot coming out of Minnesota too. So that's a good safety duo. That's an opportunistic duo as well if you leave things over the middle of the field. So you have to be, in my opinion, more, I would say cautious, I'll say, about the ways in which you try and distribute the ball, because you can't be careless. The Giants have guys that can still take the ball away, in my personal opinion. Now, of course, I think that there are ways to attack you guys, maybe getting after that second level with the tight ends. Can you get the run game going in a similar manner? Obviously, the other teams have previously. Certainly, I would love to see it at this current moment in time for this Chiefs team. But yeah, there are definitely challenges that this team has to start out with, and up front are certainly a big part of it.
If we can't stop the run, the floodgates are definitely gonna open up. Hold on, I got to get to this comment. Shout out to my man Thunder. That's one of my day one guys. He says these two are completely ignoring us.
I saw the Tony comment. The funny thing,
something from Tony. What Tony?
He had mentioned that we're not taking anybody after the Tony stuff. Hey, look, I understand it. Kadarius Toney, funny enough, he came over for us in 2022, was able to help us get to the Super Bowl, help us with the punt return to the Super Bowl. Obviously, he struggled in 2023, and It is what it is. But hey, I at least tip the cap for what he was able to do for us in 2022. Yeah, no, this is funny, and he obviously mentioned Pacheco's outgoing records.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I grew up in Jersey for the majority of my life. I'm an Essex County kid personally, and so this is funny. I regularly listen to ESPN Radio New York on a consistent basis. So this is funny, kind of having a little bit of homecoming.
What town? What city?
West Orange.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Wow. Yes, sir. About 15 minutes outside the city, brother.
And how many years? How many years?
The entirety of so literally from kindergarten all the way up until high school. I went to Seton Hall Prep.
Well, I'm from Union, New Jersey.
Okay.
Well, Vauxhall, but Union, New Jersey. West Orange is right around the corner from me.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Shout out to you. And then my man Steven Arts, he said Pacheco PR because he's also Puerto Rican, repping for the Puerto Rican, of course.
There you go.
Yeah, hold on. I do want to get some of these comments. 100 says he's from Exes too.
There you go. Okay.
What's up? He also said, okay, Union. Yeah. Well, I always say Union because that's the high school I went to. I grew up in Vauxhall, though. Town was too small to have a school, so they shipped all the black folks.
The Union.
They did with us. That's how they did us, and that's how we won all those championships too. Shout out to Union.
I love the shout outs. Patterson, Nork in the building. Okay.
Jersey's definitely in the building. Nah, man, that's a fact, man. I'm born and raised Jersey, North Jersey, but like I said, 20 minutes outside the city. It is what it is. I'll say this though. The city's a little bit different. Like I played in the summer league in the Bronx, basketball summer league in the Bronx when I was a kid.
No doubt.
The Bronx is different. Now, shout out to New York though, man. So for me, right? Just thinking about the Chiefs, and I'm just gonna say this for me. I think the stage is set. Again, it's a lot on the line for both teams. The stage is set. I think for us, we need to put a complete game together, offense, defense, and there is, I guess for me, no better opponent to try to, get one on than the Chiefs. And it's not, and I always play around and I joke and say, we're gonna put the league on notice, but at the end of the day, we've been underdogs for a long time as far as New York Giants. And for me, and my whole motto going into the season was getting our respect back. And playing the way that we played against the Dallas Cowboys, where we put up a bunch of points, lost in a heartbreaker, I feel like that starts this whole, thing going when it comes to getting our respect back. But if we can beat y'all, Sunday Night Football in front of America, that might feel pretty good. Actually, I know that might feel good, but again, it's not going to come easy for sure. Again, I've been watching everything that the Giants have been putting out with the players, every Zoom call, every lock in front of the locker room presser and stuff like that. The guys seem like they're locked in. I have not done the same studying as far as the Chiefs goes, with their, how the interviews daily and stuff like that. Do you feel like the Chiefs, the players feel like this is one of those we got to have it type games?
Well, I will say we did hear, Travis Kelce did this podcast earlier today, and he made it sound like the locker room is kind of looking at it from that perspective, which, in my opinion, they absolutely should. There's no doubt about it. So I think that this, for both teams, is kind of a must-win coming in to what this is going to end up looking like. And I think that for you guys, it maybe means a little bit different for your point, trying to earn back your respect in some aspects of it. Brian Daboll seems to be coaching, obviously, for his job. I think every time that Russ goes out there, he's probably quarterbacking for his job, given the fact that Jackson Dart is waiting in the wings too. So yeah, I mean, it feels like both of these teams are, the Chiefs on one side, we want to stay on top. And obviously we have been the hunted for a long time as far as this league is concerned within this era that we've been existing in. And you guys are now, coming at the huntee. You guys feel like you're in a position to kind of deliver a kill shot here to try and send this team to 0-3. So I completely think that it applies on both sides, to say the least. And you get a lot of respect on the block if you take the Chiefs down to 0-3, man.
I'll tell you what, I don't kill shot or not, I just want the dub. However it happens, if we win by 1 point, I just want the dub at the end of the day. That's for sure, man.
You're not kidding. We did our Chiefs podcast last night, and I'll give everybody a shout out. Kingdom Cast, we do our Tell the Truth podcast every single Tuesday night. We legitimately every single week we usually like pick the game, predict the score. I promise all three of us just said, "Hey, win the damn game." Was the answer as far as it's win the game. I don't care. Win the game.
And I was checking out the show. That's you guys reviewed the Eagles game, right?
Yep. Yeah, we went through all of the
from yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I was checking that one out. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny too. Now that I know you from Jersey, I feel a little bit different. I feel like shout out to Jersey in the building. Well, I got to ask you this question: how do you become a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, so I was born in Missouri. So that's the funny thing. My family's from Missouri, was born there. I just moved there when I was really young over to Jersey, right before kindergarten, man. And I was up there until I, graduated.
Because I got family that actually live in Kansas City.
Oh,
and they're actually they're Chiefs fan. He used to come up in the summers. This is when the Chiefs were awful. Giants weren't too good.
Yeah.
We talking late 90s.
Late 90s,
late
Marty
90s.
Ball.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So it wasn't really any bragging rights going, happening anyway. But but shout out to you. But for those that don't know, again, he does not just do the Chiefs. He's a Chief content creator. But the man gets busy. He got content on pretty much on everything. I saw you NFL. I saw some WNBA videos as well. You do it all. So tell the people about yourself, about your channel and stuff like that. Everything that you do.
Absolutely, yeah, I'd be happy to. So I do have this new venture that I'm starting out.
Hold on. Go ahead. I just realized something. I saw that you were a Nets fan.
I am a Nets fan. That is correct.
Makes sense now.
Yes, it is. Here, I got it right here, baby. Yeah, there you go.
Makes sense now.
That's world.
I saw the teams. I was like, wait a minute, the Nets.
Yeah.
It makes sense now. Sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead. Good.
Let the people know. Makes sense now. Okay.
Absolutely. I am a member of Nets World. But yeah, I'm starting up this new channel. It's my solo venture, DMW Sports, across all social media platforms and YouTube. I actually did a preview series for every single NFL team. So I've got an entire Giants preview in which I broke down the entire roster, breakout player, et cetera, for anybody that wants to go over and check it out there on YouTube as well. But like your point you made, I'm covering all sports over there, cover a little bit of US Open, WNBA, obviously NFL, doing a little baseball. Got some stuff coming up for the playoffs there too. Obviously we're coming up as far as basketball season coming around the corner. Get preseason a little bit soon too. So I've got that stuff coming up too. So yeah, that's my DMW stuff. And then as far as the actual, Chiefs aspect of it, I'm part of Kingdom Cast. And then I also host spaces every single Friday for Red Friday too. So, that got that going on DMAC Wake 316. So got a few different things, a little irons in the fire.
Way to do it. Staying busy, putting out good content. That's how you do it, man. Steady strides, man. I did put the link to your DMW Sports. It's in there. So anybody that want to subscribe, again, guess what? For the Nets fans that are in the building right now, you got a guy that also is a Nets fan. So guess what? We can show some love. But man, listen, you didn't do a prediction yesterday on your own show. We about to wrap this thing up. I need a prediction, man. I need a prediction for Sunday Night Football. Let me hear something, man.
Yeah, look, I like I said, I think this is a must win. I think this team is too talented to go to.
You don't got to be too modest.
I gotta be honest.
Jab before the hook.
I know. I do have us winning this game. I think it'll be close. I don't think this team is in any position right now to blow any team out. I truly don't feel that way. I think that you guys will find some success. Russell hit one or two, moon balls to Malik Neighbors kind of deep down the field. You guys will find that, and Rondell Robertson can get loose a little bit underneath too and catch us and get some blitzes. So I got it 24-20 as far as that is concerned, a Chiefs victory.
That's respectful. That is very respectful.
I think it's going to be, tough sledding to get it done ultimately. Obviously the Monday Night Football game from a few years ago certainly was too. So yeah. I think it's going to be entertaining on Sunday Night Football between two 0-2 teams. At
the end of the day, I do hope that it's competitive because we've seen before, especially on prime time for the Giants outside of that Monday night versus Chiefs. Sometimes we fall apart when it comes to prime time. Like we make true and blue asses out of ourselves sometimes, man. And I'm hoping, again, this is against the Chiefs. There's a lot on the line, 0-2. I'm pretty sure in the pregame show, nobody's going to pick the Giants. And it is what it is. And I don't blame them. Steve Spagnuolo, Andy Reid, he's still a wizard. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. But I'm just hoping that Russ prays a little bit harder than Patrick Mahomes this week. Because I'm for sure praying. I prayed last week for some offense. and we got it. So
y'all got it a lot.
all-
Y'all got a lot of offers for sure.
man, but no, I appreciate you for joining again, man. You know what? If you ever need me on for anything, you know where to find me. Hit me up. But again, I appreciate you for joining, even though you had some stuff going on. You're still able to come on. I respect that. And yeah, man, have a good night. Any last words for us over here?
No, look, I wanted to thank you once again for having me on. Again, thank you for being gracious. I know I unfortunately was running behind as far as that stuff was concerned. But again, thank you for welcoming me on. Appreciate everybody for having me in the chat and stuff. And it's cool to talk to some Jersey fan, man. It's not often I get to,
One thing about Jersey, man. Once we find out we from Jersey, it's like family. That's Absolutely. A fact. Now I appreciate you, man. You have a good rest of your night. I'm not going to say good luck to you on Sunday. I'm not going to say good luck, but I hope everybody leaves the game healthy. That's what I always say to my opponents, man. But you have a good night, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, you too. Good competition all the way around. Everybody healthy. Let's get it.
All right, salute. Have a good one. All right, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw it. Shout out to my man DMW Sports for showing some love, coming through, giving us a breakdown of the Chiefs. And what's next? What's next? Game time. That's all I can say, man. I do have the live on Saturday, late night Giants talk. We're gonna get into that. But before I get out of here, I'm gonna show you guys the love and get to some of these comments. So I see my man DBM. He says, Dash, this is the best Giants platform. You are a mentally sharp host. The people you bring on your show are great. Shout out to Newark, New Jersey. Big fan. Now, shout out to you. Appreciate the love and support. My man Tyrone Hall said, Knicks fan here since Kazzy Russell. Oh, boy. Was a rookie. All right. You showing your age, Tyrone. It is what it is. I respect it. Stephen R. says, every box of ducking should... Listen, man. I don't like talking... Hold on. I didn't talk to y'all since the Crawford fight, right? I didn't talk to y'all since I told y'all about Crawford, man. For the people out there that was saying Canelo was going to do this and do that, I told y'all, man. It's different. I said it. The only thing I was worried about is if Crawford could take a punch. He was able to take a punch, and you saw what he did. Dismantle Canelo. Canelo didn't know what to do. Well, Canelo still got a chin, so he was never really hurt, but he couldn't do anything with Brett Crawford, with Bud. Leo Lucas says, cool, checking it. Yeah, check out my man's page. I didn't know he was from Jersey, man. And it makes a lot of sense because when I was looking at his page, I saw that he had a Nets thing up there. Now it makes sense. Kansas City, the Nets, it is what it is. Shout out to Jersey in the building, man. Shout out to the Tri-State area, too. I'm going to get to some more of these comments. And also, yeah, it's prediction time. So make sure you guys throw some predictions in the chat while I look for some more comments that I want to read. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats. I did one. Shout out to my man, that dog friend with the $2 super chat. He says, Dash, number one, go Giants. Now, I appreciate you. You're number one, that dog friend. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to the love and support. 100 said 30-21 the Giants. I respect it. He said, thank you for Michael Bridges. That's what you calling him, Michael Bridges? That's crazy. 100 says, just giving us 20 points, son. Now, listen, man. Just think about it. Just think about us, Giants fan. We couldn't get a touchdown in week one. Now we scoffing at 20 points. Now I don't blame you. Here's my thing. Once I saw Russell Wilson do what he did, I'm not selling the short anymore. I need to see more of that. 20 points. We scored 21 points in a quarter. I need to see more 30 burgers for sure. For sure. Stephen R. says 21-17 New York Giants. What else we got going on? My man Tyrone. Shout out to Tyrone with the $5 super chat.
I need a dollar is what I need.
He says, I'm the old man in the chat. Let's go Giants now. We ain't doing that. You ain't the old man in the chat. You just a seasoned veteran, brother. Seasoned veteran. We ain't gonna call you old, man. I play around and say I'm old all the time. Nah, we seasoned, brother. Seasoned veteran. Nah, I respect it, man. Respect it. Thank you for hanging out with me, man. My man Thunder says, I get stressed out when I see stupid penalties to kill the momentum of big plays and long drives to the red zone. I also get aggravated when the middle of the field gets cooked. And you saw both of those. You saw both of those on Sunday. I understand the frustration. My man James Wilkes, what's going on, James? He says, I think the Giants are going to pick up the first win. They still have the chip on their collective shoulders from the Dallas game, so they're going to play a more disciplined game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I do believe that as well. That's what everybody's saying. You saw it from Tibbs after the game. Brian Burns was talking about it. Dex was talking about it. Javon Holland was talking about it. Russ was talking about it. Malik Neighbor. Like, yeah, everybody's talking about being more disciplined growing up. Is a word that Tibbs said growing up on both sides of the ball. They're locked in, man. I think even though they lost that game on the offensive side, it gave them confidence that they can actually go out there and put up some points. Even though some people might say that's the Dallas defense. At the end of the day, they were still able to put up the points. It's the New York Giants offense. Now, on the defensive side, for 2 weeks straight, you were playing fantastic defense for 3 quarters. And you didn't close it out. Well, actually, that first week, it was our issue. The offense not putting up points to try to help the defense. But in that second game against the Dallas Cowboys, you were not able to close it out 2 times. 2 times, because that Wan'Dale Robinson touchdown should have been a walk-off too, right above 2 minutes left in the quarter. And then, of course, the Malik Neighbors absolutely should have been a walk-off home run too, touchdown at the end of the game. And it didn't happen. But now I think everybody, the collective New York Giants offense, defense, special teams, everybody felt the loss. Everybody's going to take that, bottle it up, and use it as fuel for this next week game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I really do believe that. My man Sean Jackson says, Dad, speaking of the Giants, sight and sounds, I love Scat, Russ, Wan'Dale's energy, but Neighbors' lack of confidence towards the Giants' defense finishing disturbed me. Leak pep talk defense next time to close. Yeah, I saw it. He was right after the touchdown, right after that famous shot of him saying, put him to sleep. He was on the bench, and they said, you know what, and they were yelling around. He said, it's not over yet. That's what he said. It's not over yet. He was right. He was right, but you're absolutely right too, man. Instead of keeping that to yourself, be there for the defense, cheering them on. But you know what it is when it's the Giants, man. When it's the Giants, I don't like 3-point leads at all. I don't like 3-point. I've seen too many 3-point leads, 2-point leads, 1-point leads. Go by the wayside, fall by the wayside by the other team's field goal kicker. Stephen R. says we don't have one because who are you talking about? We don't have one because Dart, but this trade. Oh, we're talking about the 3rd round pick. Yeah. And I think that's it, right? I think I'm caught up. I think I got everybody's comment. If I didn't get your comment, quickly throw it in the chat again. My man Javi says, "What's good, brother? If our O-line holds up, we can win this game. That's a fact. That is a fact." And shout out to the 89 people still in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, first of all, what are you doing? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you are a New York Giants fan, if you bleed blue and you're not subscribed to this channel, shame on you. Shame on you, but you can fix that by hitting that like and subscribe button right now. Now, I'm playing with y'all, man. Thank you for the love and support. My man DJ says 32-20, dub for the G-Men. Let me get back to some more of these predictions because I know I missed a couple of them. He said, young 72. You 72? Well, I said you were seasoned. You well seasoned, 72. That's like a brisket ready to come off the grill, 72. Well seasoned. I'm 44. Now people dropping their ages in here. Okay. Fighters Destiny. What's going on, Fighters Destiny? What's up? You said 17-14 Giants. I think I already saw the one from 100G. Yep. Home court advantage. That's a fact. Tony Touch says 24-17 Giants win. Jalen Hyatt sighting. He's still open. I hope so, man. I had to tuck that hat in the corner, man. Hyatt is open, man. Stephen R. says shame. Phil, what's going on, Phil? Phil said 24-20. And I think that's our last prediction of the night. And we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. Guess what? I still haven't eaten dinner yet. And the missus cooked, so I'm ready to go. So I want to appreciate everybody for joining in the Giants War Room. Shout out to my special guest, my man DMW Sports. Shout out to y'all too, because y'all kept it live until he was able to show up. And then, us preview that Kansas City game. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. If you do like this series, I'll keep it going. So far, it's been good. First 3 weeks, had some fantastic guests on, content creators come on, and I appreciate the love and support. Next week, it'll be a Charger fan. So as long as you guys like this series, I'm gonna keep on doing it. Shout out to my man TP Way, still vibing with me with the fire emojis. Ant says 31-28 Giants. I could take another 30 burger for sure. For sure. Sean Jackson says anybody from 2023 draft class is truly going to step up for us Sunday Night Football. Oh, so he's asking, is anybody? Last time we won a Sunday Night Football game was 2022 in Washington. Okay. I'm trying to remember which game that was. I remember it was a primetime game that we lost when they called the offsides on Dexter Lawrence on the field goal, and they kicked it again. Remember that? I remember that. Stephen R. says, hopefully prime time with Russ is better than Duke quarterback. Yeah, I hope so. And you know what's crazy? And I'm a stand-up guy. Daniel Jones beat the Denver Broncos. I didn't see that happening. Give him respect where respect due. Listen, he needed a fresh start, and guess what? Indiana Jones sounds fantastic. Maybe he needed to be there, because I don't think he's doing what he did there with us. And shout out to Russ for 450 yards. And guess what, everybody? Guess who's leading? Who's the quarterback that's leading the league in passing yards after 2 weeks? Is Russell Wilson, 618 yards passing. And then we got two top wide receivers right now after 2 weeks. Both Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors, top 10 in yards and top 10 in receptions. So guess what? New York Giants, not too shabby. I see what's going on outside of the building, but I just hope that everybody pays attention to what's going on in the building as well. Dash, bless up. Now, shout out to everybody. Appreciate you, man. Love and support for everybody. He said, I seen it coming. Talking about Malik. That's what Malik was thinking. He seen it coming. Nah, that's crazy. All right, but we're going to wrap this thing up again. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Snow's Big Blue Nation.